Many English learners often ask, "Why can't I think in English?" It's a valid question. Learning to think in a new language takes time, but it's essential for improvement. Thinking in English may not come instantly. It requires practice and patience. If you've ever read English words without truly understanding them, you're not alone. Many learners experience this. Let's dive into why this happens and explore how to train your mind to think in English. Our brains are brilliant, but like routine. When we grow up with one language, it becomes automatic. The brain gets used to the language you speak daily, making it feel as though there's a favorite path it always follows. When learning English, your brain wants to stick with the old habits. For instance, if you see a dog, your brain might think of the word for it in your native language first. It then has to convert that thought into English, which slows you down. The good news is, you can retrain your brain to think in English. It's like building a new path in your mind. The more you use English, the easier it becomes over time. There are several reasons learning English can be difficult. First, your brain works hard. When reading English, it must translate and understand the words simultaneously, which makes it harder to remember what you read. Second, if you come across unfamiliar words, your brain needs to stop and figure out their meaning. This is like hitting a roadblock while driving, making understanding more challenging. Third, English may feel unusual. Your first language has concepts that are easy to grasp, but English expresses ideas differently. It may sound strange or difficult at first. Fourth, you're still learning to read in English. In your first language, you have tools to help you understand, but English might require you to discover new strategies for better comprehension. Fifth, more practice is needed. Like strengthening muscles through exercise, the more you use English, the more natural it will feel. Keep practicing, and you'll see improvement. Don't worry if you find it difficult. Everyone learning a new language experiences the same challenges. The key is to practice consistently and never give up. Keep moving forward. Here are a few tips to help your brain think in English. First, read as much as possible. The more you read in English, the easier it will become. Start with simple materials and gradually progress. Second, listen to English. Watch shows, movies, or listen to music and podcasts in English. This helps your brain become familiar with the sound and flow of the language. Third, practice speaking. Talk in English, even if it's just to yourself. The more you speak, the more natural it will feel. Don't worry about being perfect. The goal is to practice. Fourth, try writing in English. Write a journal, make up stories, or describe your thoughts. Writing helps you put your thoughts into words and strengthens your language skills. Fifth, play word games. Use crossword puzzles, word searches, or apps like Duolingo. Learning new vocabulary can be fun and rewarding, making it easier to remember new words. Sixth, don't fear mistakes. Everyone makes them while learning. What matters is your persistence. Keep trying, and don't let mistakes discourage you from moving forward. Seventh, use a dictionary when you encounter unfamiliar words. Look up the meanings, then try using the words in sentences to reinforce your memory. Eighth, break long or complex sentences into smaller parts. Focus on understanding each piece of the sentence one by one, which will make it easier to grasp the full meaning. Ninth, connect new English words to things you already know. By linking new words to familiar concepts, your brain will remember them more easily. 10th, be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time, and every little bit of progress counts. Celebrate the small achievements, and keep pushing forward. At first, you may need to read something several times before you fully understand it, and that's fine. With each attempt, your brain becomes better at comprehending English. Try reading aloud to reinforce understanding. Don't just say the words. Think about their meaning. Ask questions as you read to deepen your understanding. Explaining what you've read to someone, even if it's just yourself in the mirror, can help strengthen your English skills and encourage your brain to think in English. Another useful tip is to surround yourself with English. Change your phone settings, label things around your house in English, and use the language as much as possible. Learning English is a journey. Some days will feel easy, while others might feel tough. This is completely normal, and even on challenging days, you're improving. Consider how you learned to ride a bike. At first, it was hard, but with practice, it became second nature. Learning to think in English is similar. Keep at it. Don't compare yourself to others. Each person learns in their own way and at their own pace. What matters most is that you continue practicing and never stop. Celebrate each milestone, every new word you learn, and every sentence you understand without translating. These are signs that you're on the right track. Try to think in English about your daily routine. For example, when you wake up, say in English, "I'm getting out of bed now," or "going to brush my teeth." As you go through the day, describe what you're doing in English. This helps you practice forming thoughts in English, rather than translating everything from your native language. You can also practice imagining conversations in English. Pretend you're asking for directions or ordering food at a restaurant. This helps with forming sentences and thinking quickly in English. It's okay to use your first language sometimes. The goal is not to completely stop using it, but to feel comfortable thinking and speaking in English as well. Over time, you might notice that English words come to mind before those in your native language. You may even start understanding sentences in English without needing to reread them. These are signs that your brain is getting better at English. Don't be discouraged if you have both good and bad days. Keep practicing, even when it feels hard. You're improving. Teaching what you've learned to someone else, even if you're just beginning, can help you understand the material better. It makes you think about English in a new way. When you read or listen to English, try to think about the context. Often, you can guess the meaning of a word by looking at the words around it. Native speakers use this method all the time, and you can do it too. It's a great skill that improves your understanding and makes reading and listening easier. Make English a part of your everyday life. Set small goals, like learning 5 new words a day or reading a short story in English every morning. These daily steps will add up. Remember, experts started as beginners. People who speak English as their first language learned it little by little, just like you. You're on the same path they started in your shoes. With practice, English will no longer feel strange. It will become a tool for expressing your ideas and understanding the world. Keep practicing, and soon you'll find joy in learning. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Teachers, friends, or online groups can support you. Learning is easier when you have support, and it can be a fun journey. Be proud of yourself for learning English. It's not easy, but the rewards are worth it. Knowing English opens up new opportunities, allows you to connect with different cultures, and see the world differently. Are you ready to take the next step? Start today by doing one small thing to practice thinking in English. Maybe describe your breakfast or think of English words as you go about your day. Every little practice counts. If you keep practicing every day, you'll soon notice that English feels easier and more natural. Keep going, and watch how your English improves. One day, you'll find that you're thinking in English without even trying. Eventually, you'll not only read English, but truly understand it and feel connected to the language. Your journey to thinking in English starts now. Take the first step, keep practicing, and see how much your English improves. You can do it. You are capable of success.